Nature gave them hours to escape one of the deadliest disasters in history. Not minutes, hours. And that warning wasn't ignored, it was celebrated. Hundreds of thousands of people who were about to die walked onto the beach and ran to photograph their own deaths. The sea had pulled back hundreds of meters, and instead of running, people went to collect shells. December 26, 2004, off the coast of Sumatra, a tectonic plate that had been grinding beneath its neighbor for centuries finally snapped. A rupture 1,600 kilometers long, magnitude 9.1, the third strongest earthquake ever recorded. The real damage was underwater. The seafloor lurched up 20 meters, throwing billions of tons of ocean into motion. In open water, the wave was barely a ripple, 60 centimeters, but it moved at 700 kilometers an hour, faster than a jet, carrying the force of 23,000 Hiroshima bombs, heading toward 14 countries. None of them knew, and they could have known. After a tsunami hit the Pacific in 1946, that ocean got sensors, sirens, and school lessons on what a vanishing tide means. The Indian Ocean got nothing. Geophysicist Carrie C. had already found the proof buried in coral growth rings off Sumatra. Quakes like this one hit roughly every 2 to 3 centuries, and the last one was in 1861. He printed warning pamphlets. They drowned in paperwork. A tsunami center in Hawaii detected the quake and issued a warning within 15 minutes, faster than the wave reached most coastlines. But in the Indian Ocean, there was nobody to receive it. The letter was sent, the mailbox didn't exist. On the beaches of Thailand, it was an ordinary Christmas morning. Tourists sunbathing, fishermen heading out, kids in the sand. Then the tide pulled back, fast, unnaturally fast. Fish flopped in the exposed mud, and instead of running, people got excited. Cameras out, kids racing onto the seabed for shells. On a beach called Mai Khao, a 10-year-old British girl named Tilly Smith watched the water fizz and retreat further than it should. She remembered something. 2 weeks earlier, her geography teacher had shown the class a video about tsunamis. One detail stuck. When the ocean suddenly pulls back, that's not a gift. It's the last warning before impact. She started screaming, dragging her parents toward the hotel. Her mother thought it was a tantrum. Tilly wouldn't stop, and she was so certain that her father walked up to a hotel security guard and said, "I know this sounds insane, but my daughter is sure a tsunami is coming." The guard listened. He evacuated the beach. About 100 people, most of them still holding seashells a minute earlier, ran for the second floor. Minutes later, a 9-meter wall of water hit the coast. That beach was one of the only ones in Phuket where nobody died that day. A 10-year-old who remembered a school video saved 100 lives. Elsewhere, there was no Tilly Smith. In Sumatra, whole cities were erased. In Sri Lanka, a passenger train was swallowed whole, its carriages thrown 100 meters inland. Over 1,000 people killed on a single train. By the time the water settled, 228,000 people were dead or missing across 14 countries. Almost none of it had to happen. The world finally reacted. By 2006, the Indian Ocean had its own warning system. Sensors, sirens, evacuation routes, lessons in schools. Today, a quake above magnitude 7 triggers an alert within 15 minutes. What stays with me isn't the death toll or the height of the wave, though those numbers alone make you sick. It's the gap between knowing and acting. Scientists knew. The Pacific proved the system worked. It took 228,000 deaths to ask whether the other ocean needed it too. Tilly Smith saved 100 people because a teacher played one video 2 weeks before it mattered. This isn't really a story about a wave. It's a story about what it costs when knowledge never reaches the people who need it.